Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back once again. Friends, imagine this for a moment. What if you're sitting inside a plane, traveling peacefully toward your destination, and suddenly the plane crashes? You survive. Everyone survives. But then something terrifying begins to happen. Every single day, one person starts dying in strange and unexplained ways. That's exactly the story we bring to you today. The story begins with a small passenger aircraft flying toward London, carrying people from different walks of life. Everything seems normal, but midway through the journey, the pilot receives a warning message. A massive storm is forming on their current route. Air traffic control advises the pilot to take an alternate path. At first, the pilot refuses. No pilot likes to fly on that route. No one knows the exact reason, but something about it feels dangerous. Unfortunately, there's no other choice. The pilot finally agrees and changes the course of the plane. When the passengers are informed that the journey will now take an extra hour, they feel disappointed, but they accept it. After all, safety matters more than time. The passengers relax again, but their relief doesn't last long. Suddenly, a loud warning beep echoes in the cockpit. The GPS system stops working, and then another horrifying discovery is made. There is a leak in the fuel tank. The pilot struggles desperately to keep the plane stable, but when the fuel finally runs out, the engine shuts down. The aircraft begins to fall from the sky, like a bullet. At that moment, the pilot realizes the truth. There is no escape. Knowing these are his final moments, the pilot takes out his phone and records a message for his family. He thanks his wife and children. He tells them he fought until the very end. He couldn't save the plane. He couldn't save the passengers, but he tried. Moments later, the plane crashes deep inside the Amazon rainforest. The aircraft is completely destroyed. Miraculously, almost everyone survives. Almost. One air hostess sitting at the back wasn't wearing her seatbelt. Her body is badly injured with multiple broken bones. A doctor among the passengers examines her and quietly says, "She won't survive for long." Fear spreads among the survivors. Even worse, they realize where they are. They are trapped inside the largest and densest forest in the world. Surviving here will not be easy. There is no mobile network. The radio system is damaged. Calling for help seems impossible. Two people go to check the cockpit, but one of them is badly injured when a wooden rod pierces his chest. He is still breathing, but barely. Smoke begins rising from the wreckage. Everyone thinks someone has gone to stop the fire, but instead, one man risks his life to save his bag. Why? What could be more important than survival? A woman quickly manages to control the fire. At that moment, everyone understands one thing clearly. If they want to survive, they must stay united. They begin introducing themselves. A man named Jack, a life insurance agent, believes the crash was not an accident, but the doctor strongly disagrees. According to him, this was purely a mechanical failure. Another woman, Sophia, who travels frequently, believes they have crashed somewhere in the Amazon jungle. An elderly couple tries to calm everyone down, saying that help will arrive soon. But deep inside, no one is sure.
Many survivors were badly injured. Two medical students, Roberto Canessa, 19, and Gustavo Zerbino, 20, immediately began helping the wounded. One of the most seriously injured was Fernando Parado, who was unconscious due to a skull fracture. Search and rescue teams launched operations within hours, but the aircraft was white, buried in snow and nearly invisible from the air. After 8 days, the official search was called off. The world believed everyone was dead. When the survivors later heard this announcement on a small radio they found, hope nearly vanished. Temperatures dropped to -30 degrees Celsius, food ran out, and there was no vegetation or wildlife at that altitude. The survivors were forced to make an unimaginably difficult decision to stay alive, one that shocked the world but allowed them to survive. Then, disaster struck again. An avalanche buried the wreckage, killing 8 more people. Only 16 survivors remained. Realizing no rescue was coming, 3 men, Fernando Parado, Roberto Canessa, and Antonio Vicentin, decided to walk across the mountains to find help. With no climbing gear, no map, and almost no food, they began an impossible journey across the Andes. After days of climbing, Vicentin returned to save food, while Parado and Canessa continued. After 10 days and walking over 60 kilometers, they finally encountered a Chilean farmer named Sergio Catalan. Using a note tied to a stone, Parado wrote, "I come from a plane that crashed in the mountains. We are survivors. My friends are injured and need urgent help." Catalan immediately rode for hours to alert authorities. On 22 December 1972, 70 days after the crash, helicopters finally reached the site. 16 survivors were rescued. Though severely weakened, all eventually recovered. This tragedy became known as the Miracle of the Andes, a story of endurance, hope, and the unbreakable human will to survive. As the saying goes, where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you for listening.